space, a few more people coming in from outside, but good afternoon. I'm Gina Oglesby, and I'm so honored to be here as the interim president today to celebrate the grand opening of this building and then dedicating our Mickey Elliott Fine Arts building. We've been granted a beautiful day to do it in today, and I just thank you all for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us today. As special guests, I would like to recognize Bill Elliott and the Elliott family here on the front row for being here with us today. And later on in the program, we will also recognize Jill Adams and Bill Arscott. So we thank you also for being here and letting us honor you. For many of you who've been around campus or alumni or part of the university, this building has been a dream for many years. And to see it here today, filled with people excited about the arts, it's just wonderful to see. Last April, our SFA Board of Regents celebrated the addition of this Griffith Fine Arts building, and it was commemorated with a plaque on the first floor, so we invite you down to review that plaque. And then today, we're excited to not only show the building off, but dedicate the Mickey Elliott College of Fine Arts. Many people helped us to get here today, but I especially want to recognize our governing body who was involved. And if some of those here were a member of our Board of Regents that approved the building project way back in October of 2018, and then some of you were here when the building was named the Mickey Elliott College of Fine Arts in November 2021, or the college was named. So will you please stand when I call your name? David Alders, Scott Coleman, Robert Flores, Alton Fraley, Karen Gant, Bridget Henderson, Tom Mason, and Nancy Wyndham all had a role in getting this building here and getting the College of Fine Arts. And then we also have two other regents, two other regents that are certainly part of the history of the university and making it what it is today. We have Joe Max Green and Patty Greer. So thank you to the two of you also. We also are blessed to have our 10th president, Dr. Steve Westbrook, here. And the family of our 8th president, Dr. Baker Patillo. There are so many people that help make this building become a reality, including our architects, Kirksey Architects, with Steve Durham and Rashmi Murthy. Here we go, over here. Also, Doug Moss. Thank you, Doug. And our contractor, KDW, represented by Bob Kingham. And then if you were another consultant or worked on the project, will you also please stand and let us recognize you for your efforts? We have our Texas House of Representative member, Travis Clardy, who's very supportive of SFA. He recently helped us work through the legislation for the affiliation with the UT system, so Travis, thank you for those efforts. And we have our U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions of the 17th Texas District. Congressman Sessions will offer some remarks momentarily, but I want to share a little bit about him and his 24 years in Congress. Pete Sessions has served in the Republican Party leadership for 10 years and has helped the Republican House majority balance the federal budget. It's interesting for me to say that as an accountant, but balance the federal budget for the past 4 years. He served as chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee and chairman of the House Committee on Rules. For many years, he served in various national and local leadership roles with the Boy Scouts of America, disability assistance, and local conservation groups. As well, he served on the board of trustee of his alma mater, Southwestern University, for 12 years, so he understands what it's like to be in charge of a university. We're thrilled to have him here. If you would please come forward and share a few words with us.
Thank you very much, Bill. What a delight it is to be here with you. I am learning very quickly there's a couple gang signs that need to be flashed around the room And it's with great opportunity that I'm here. President Westbrook, good to see you again. The opportunity to be here is about the success of the community. And success, lots of times I learned, is not just one person or two. It's really a huge community that wants to be a part of that success. Bill, it is also successful because of you and the benevolence that comes from what we know of as capitalism in the United States of America. And capitalism is that basis that not only propels this great nation, but so much other, many other ideas ride that rail, including competition, technology, and making really not just the United States better, but the world better. And I would suspect that everyone in here has ideas about what this building is going to be used for. And the answer is the benefit of everybody. And the benefit of everybody is truly a gift that comes from what we believe here in Texas. And that is that we have a right and an obligation to be proud of who we are, what we stand for, and we're willing to share it with the world. But with that said, there comes a responsibility also of us to recognize that if we're going to continue the greatness of this great nation, we must continue to teach others. I have two sons, and a son that's in the top 2% academically. He is a medical doctor at Dell Children's Hospital. He's an oncologist. He went to Southwestern as I. And he has a little brother who is a Down syndrome man, who's now Uncle Alex as of a couple weeks ago. And Alex, as a Down syndrome man, does not have the same necessarily abilities. He's in the bottom 2%. But let me assure this crowd here that you already know the answer. Whether you're in the bottom 2% or the top 2%, there's a whole lot of people in between. And both of these characteristics of at least my sons, they're both Eagle Scouts, but is that they will get up every day, face the world, and give it their very best. And that is the experience that this building, this campus, and what this university stands for, is preparing people for the future. The future that we want to drag along everything that made America wonderful, with competition, capitalism, and an opportunity to better people's lives. Madam President, thank you for asking me to be a part of you today. I'm going to kind of give you an excuse right now. I've got to catch a 5 o'clock plane out of Houston Intercontinental. So at some point, you're going to see me get up, and it's not because I'm not happy. Bill, thank you very much. Hearty congratulations. May the Lord be with each and every one of you today.
Thank you so much, Congressman Sessions, and we just appreciate you being here today, even though you have a busy schedule. And now I want to introduce our Dean of the Mickey Elliott College of Fine Arts, Dr. Gary Works.
Thank you, President Oglesby, and Congressman Sessions, thanks for being here, and Representative Clardy, thank you for taking time out of your schedules today. When we began to plan for today a few months ago, we began putting together the long list of people we didn't want speaking here today. But there was one person we absolutely had to hear from, and that was Dean Emeritus Buddy Himes. Buddy served as the 9th Dean of the College of Fine Arts for 14 years, and his vision and advocacy for this facility had a great deal to do with getting the attention of the decision makers, and that is a terrific legacy. Please welcome Buddy Himes to the podium.
I'm sure that to a lot of people here today, what you're seeing must seem like just the latest development of campus expansion for SFA. But as Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story is that the idea of new construction goes all the way back to the 1980s, when Baker Patello, who was then VP for University Affairs, recognized the need for new construction, at that time dedicated to theater. However, circumstances have changed, prevented this from gaining momentum at that time. Now, fast forward with me to 2018 with the completion of the STEM building. Many of you were here for the STEM building just right across the campus. The timing finally seemed right for fine arts new construction. So in July of 2018, Dr. Patillo asked me to present to the Board of Regents ideas from a booklet that I had developed called the Transformative 2020 Vision to Become the Best Fine Arts College in Texas. Then later in 2018, at the morning session of the October board meeting, all the elements finally came together and the project was approved. Indeed, this was Dr. Patillo's last official act as president. Circumstances of change make it unclear what would have become of the project had it not been approved that October morning. As a side note, I submit that this building here today needs to be added to his biography. He would have loved to have been with us here today. Anyhow, what is clear after 100 years, especially with this new building, is that SFA is stronger than ever. Now that it's complete, I believe we could all agree that the new building is one of the most significant enhancements to the cityscape of Nacogdoches. Everybody drives along North Street, and now everybody identifies SFA with the new building. Every day at noon, when the bell tower plays Alma Mater, we're all reminded that SFA is in partnership with its community. And this is reinforced by the fact that the auditoriums, theaters, art gallery, and dance studios here will be centers that unify us all as human beings. And I believe I speak for all those who shared in the vision at that board meeting back in October 2018, and you met a lot of them just a couple minutes ago, when I say that our reward comes not from anything we may have accomplished. Instead, it will be future generations of faculty and students who won't even know who we were to truly realize the vision to become the best fine arts college in Texas. In fact, this is already happening. I'm so proud of Dr. Wirtz and the faculty and staff because what you're seeing here today already exceeds the original vision. So in closing, I see a bright future for SFA as it enters a new era, and I wish everyone the best for 2023 and into the next 100 years. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today.
Well, preparing for my time up here has been great practice for that day when I win my first Academy Award. Because I have so many people to thank and so little time to do it in. But of course, we'll start with Buddy and Baker Patillo and the Board of Regents who were here that approved this project. And especially when you guys agreed to increase the budget from the original $33 million to the $53 million it took, because this wasn't possible for $33 million. Thank you for knowing that. Kirksey for designing such a beautiful and functional space. KDW, I don't know the D's or the W's, but I know the Kinghams. And they've been terrific to work with. And they have built something iconic. And I have to admit that when I was in that office as the School of Music director when this all started and Buddy was the dean, and I just watched those guys pump millions of gallons of water out of a hole every day for 6 months. Remember when it used to rain around here? I did not envision this result back 3-4 years ago. Bill Elliott, whose gift of $8 million to this college, wow, you say his name and an alarm goes off. That is cool. His gift so that we can have the additional scholarship funding we need to keep this building full going into the future. And never will I forget Ed and Gwen Cole and the gifts they gave that keep on helping us to support students and faculty. All the folks at SFA, this became a reality to me when we moved in about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. All the people on campus who already had full-time jobs And then all of a sudden, this building started to come online, and their jobs just got added onto. I realized that from now on, when they go, we're building a new forestry building, all these offices go, oh, no. Because, I mean, so I'm talking about John Branch and Mark Scott and Bill Richardson and everybody in the physical plant. I'll never be able to name everyone. Kay Johnson and everyone in purchasing when they got those long lists of sound recording equipment and everything else they had to order. And Shannon and Susan in the design center who helped us pick furniture and drapes. And I sat in meetings, they'd go, Dr. Wirtz, do you want the seats to be purple with a brown? And I'd go, I don't care about that. You guys pick something out. Ask my wife, I can't match colors. So Mike Coffey and his crew from Internet Technology Services, Mary Reed and her experts from Classroom Technology, we've been wearing them out. Tom Turner, we call him Tom the Phone Man and in telecommunications, and Robert White from the Lock Shop. Can you imagine having to come and insert the cores in every one of the door locks in this building? So many people. Jessica DeWitt, project management. She was on our side, and KDW stole her. She was still project management, but went to the other side, but there's not a good and bad side there. And Steve Baccaris, our own technical director, whose job for the last few years has been to be the conduit between the college and KDW, and Steve Baccaris deserves special recognition at something like this. Yeah, how about all of those people? When I was interviewed to be permanent dean of this college about 18 months ago, one of the committee members, the search committee, asked me a question that was kind of couched in concerns for what they perceived to be decreasing support for fine arts in Texas moving into the future, and what I thought about that. And the answer was so easy. I went, well, this university is not building a $53 million building on the north side of campus where anyone coming down North Street, it's the first part of the main campus they see because they intend to decrease support for fine arts. We're in the best, Bill Elliott didn't support us, and the Coles, because there's decreased interest in supporting fine arts. That was the easiest question I had to answer that day. You know, a 2005 National Endowment for the Arts study found that students in arts programs scored higher in statewide tests in math, science, and citizenship. In fact, there's no shortage of evidence that participation in fine arts subjects throughout K through 12 education results in adults who are better prepared for careers in STEM areas. And our country needs more people in STEM careers. And fine arts is contributing to building mathematicians, engineers, and scientists. Case in point, Dean Kim Childs was a heck of a clarinet player in her day. Is Kim here? Because she's going to play, I think. She brought your clarinet. Kim, you lied to me again. All right. From a 2021 report by the Texas Commission on the Arts, we learned these facts. And I'm sure Congressman Sessions could just say this, but I'll say it for him. The Texas arts and culture industry has grown by more than 30% over the past decade, generating $6.1 billion for the Texas economy, totaling nearly $380 million in state sales tax revenue, and $50.1 billion in gross domestic product that's for 2019. The creative sector in Texas employs nearly 900,000 Texans, which is 1 in every 15 jobs. The arts boost tourism, and in 2019, Texas tourism spending surpassed $83 billion. Not only do art and culture tourists stay longer and spend more, nearly 1 in 4 visitors participate in cultural tourism when traveling in Texas. High school students who complete more arts courses are twice as likely to graduate. 22% are more likely to attend college and have up to 15% higher passing rates on standardized tests than students with fewer arts courses. Our students, our graduates, go and teach those students. That's what we're doing. They also go out and become great artists. They do both. But I don't need to convince this crowd about the value of the arts. That's why you're here. This day is really about the faculty, staff, and students of the Mickey Elliott College of Fine Arts. If students don't come here to learn, and if we don't have the quality faculty to prepare them for the careers they desire, and if we don't have the support staff to do all the things in addition to teaching that have to happen every day to keep the train on the tracks, well, then we don't need awesome buildings. As you walk through this building today and look around and you think of all those adjectives like spectacular and amazing and beautiful, here's the one that sticks out to me, worthy. This building is worthy of this college that has done what it was asked to do for the last 3 decades or more. Grown in enrollment, graduated students at the highest rate on campus, taught people how to become terrific artists and academics. And so they deserve this, those faculty, those students, and those staff. And this building is worthy of them. And I'm thankful for that. You know, every summer we have a lot of arts camps, fine arts camps, band camps, choir camp, orchestra camp, summer theater workshop, and arts camps, everything. I taught at, and in fact ran the summer band camps for 10 years. I taught at them for 25. And when we hire back our own graduates, the ones that are out there being teachers, we hire them to come and they live in a dorm and they teach camp. And they hang out with the people they went to school with years ago. And this past summer, during summer band camp, one Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, I got a text. Hey, Wirtz, we're over at Flashback having a beer. Come have a beer with us. Now, I'm not the kind of guy who usually goes to Flashback at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, as far as you know. So I reluctantly left the house. Mindy was not surprised. I like to go hang out with those guys when they're on campus. It's a blast to watch the people I taught show me pictures of their children and see them bring their kids to our camps. And while I'm there listening to them that night, talk about their students and their lives, one of them leans over and goes, hey man, what are the chances you could sneak us into that new building over there? And I said, I don't have to sneak you, I'm the dean now. I got keys. And so that night, if you'd have driven down North Street at like 11:30 p.m., you'd have seen me walking about 15 former music graduates through every room of this building, and they were idiots. They danced in the dance studio, and they pretended like they were recording in the recording studio. They lifted their legs up on that ballet bar, and I'll tell you, my friends, many a hamstring fell that night. But when it was all done, one of them looked at me and said, here's where I'm going to start getting weepy. How come you're getting all this good stuff now that we're gone? And I said, you don't get it. We got it because you came. Oh. That's why we're here. Honestly, most of them were accustomed. Most of them are accustomed to having better facilities on their high school campuses than what they had here. And that's not how they felt that day. And they thought it was worthy, and it is. Today I ask you to celebrate the VIPs, the students that were here before and are here now, the faculty that were here before and that are here now, and the staff that were here before and are here now, because they're who made this worth building, and I celebrate them, and I hope you will too. Thanks for being here today. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce a great man and a true friend. He's a friend to me and to all of us. I don't think he likes being called a great man. Isn't that just like a great man? Bill, you changed our lives with your gift, and your continued generosity through your foundation promises to look out for us in perpetuity. You allow us to attach your name and Mickey's to our college, which elevates us. Not to be forgotten, you come to a lot of concerts, and we can see how much you enjoy them. Thank you for all you've done and do, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Elliott.
Gosh, all I can say is this is overwhelming and probably ill-deserved. 50 years ago, Mickey and I started a supply house here in Nacogdoches with $20,000, and today we do $2 billion. This is still our headquarters, Nacogdoches. We're in 10 states now. We have the resources to create the Mickey Elliott Foundation, And the first thing that occurred to me was fine arts, because I graduated from Louisiana Tech in Ruston, Louisiana, with a degree in music. And I thought, well, you know, we're pretty good. When I got to SFA, I realized what a real fine arts department was. The contrast is just so dramatic. I mean, to have 300 members of a band, you know, perform on the field, to have 2 jazz bands, you know, to have a symphony orchestra. I just could not imagine Nacogdoches, Texas, having a symphony orchestra of any kind, much less one made out of students. And they did it in a relatively short time. So the leadership of Buddy and the acceptance of Gary have just been a fantastic gift to Nacogdoches. I live in a town now that takes me 3 minutes to get to work unless there's heavy traffic, and then it takes 5 minutes. So, and I did depend on Doug Blevins to run our Dallas operation. And when I go to Dallas, I spend most of my time in a car driving from one place to the other. And living in Nacogdoches is such a blessing. But one of the reasons why it's such a blessing is because of SFA. If we didn't have Stephen F. Austin here, this would not be the city that it is. We have history, we have a lot of things going from Nacogdoches, including the size and the people. But SFA makes a difference. And we need to support the things that are important to us. And SFA is probably the most important thing in Nacogdoches. And it's certainly worthy of any contribution we can make to help move that forward. And Robert Flores is the one who convinced me to make this first contribution. So I appreciate his guidance, and the establishment of the Mickey Elliott Foundation gives us the opportunity to do more of this in the future. But the main thing is we have a company made up of people who go to work every day in these big cities, no matter how bad it is, and sell more electrical material than our competition does, and makes us the funds that we need to fund the Mickey Elliott Foundation. And we hope that we have more money to spend. In fact, I know Dr. Wirtz has already been on me about some additional ideas he's got. And frankly, I don't know where I could spend the money any better, because his guidance and his enthusiasm for this is so great. It's just, it's hard, it's overwhelming. And I appreciated him when he was conducting the jazz band, but I appreciate him even more as a dean. So I appreciate this honor. I feel that I had nothing to do with this building, by the way. So there may be some confusion about that. Our contribution was to the university. It'll be used for scholarships, and we hope that it helps move the university forward in terms of better people. We hope that Dr. Wirtz comes up with some good programs, and maybe Robert will let me spend some money on those too. And so we really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this community and what the community has done for us over the last 50 years. But more important, we've got people like Doug Blevins and the members of our company who have made the money that has made all this possible, and we really appreciate their support. So thank you for this honor, and I hope you live through another, don't have to live through another speech that I give. Thank you.
So thank you, Bill, for all those words and for your continued generosity to the university. I'm now going to read the resolution that was passed by our Board of Regents. It was adopted November 1st, 2021, and it's the Board of Regents of Stephen F. Austin State University. Whereas Bill Elliott Sr. and his late wife, Mickey, established an electrical parts distribution company in Nacogdoches in 1972, and whereas under Bill's management in that business, Elliott Electric Supply has grown to the extent that it is now the 9th largest electrical parts distributor in the nation, serving in 9 states and generating $1.5 billion in annual sales. And whereas, as a driven and hardworking businessman and community leader, Mr. Bill Elliott remains an inspiration to his adopted hometown, his business, and his industry. And whereas Bill Elliott Sr. has for many years generously provided support to SFA through multiple endowments in fine arts, music, horticulture, computer science, and athletics, and has set a distinguished example for others. And whereas, in honor of Bill's late wife, Mickey Elliott, and to express the appreciation of Stephen F. Austin State University through gifts of support and standards of excellence, now therefore let it be resolved, the Board of Regents expresses its admiration, gratitude, and high regard for Bill Elliott Sr. and the late Mickey Elliott by naming the College of Fine Arts the Mickey Elliott College of Fine Arts. Thank you so much. And I did notice since 21, the company's grown a little bit in annual sales. What you said. That's right. So just a little bit more about today before we get to the ribbon cutting. Some of you have a special gift of the Centennial Opera glasses in your seat that commemorate today's special day. The rest of you, please stop by and pick one up, as we have about 500 of those available. I also want to share with you about other events today. We are going to cut the ribbon and unveil the plaque, and then immediately following that, we're going to go down the hall to the Teresa Jill Adams Art Gallery and unveil that plaque, and then down to the first floor to unveil the William R. Scott Soundstage. You are welcome to come and follow us. It's a narrow path, so you're also welcome to enjoy refreshments on the second and third floor and self-tour this beautiful new facility. The Centennial Concert will start promptly at 4 p.m. in Turner Auditorium. The doors will open at 3:30 p.m. It is a ticketed event because of the number of seats. The tickets are free. If you do not have a ticket, make your way to the ticket window. And I just thank you again for being here with us. It's just such an honor to stand before you and look at all these people that are here to support Mr. Elliott and SFA. We hope that you come to our other centennial events. We're celebrating being 100 years of SFA. We have the big ring ceremony tomorrow. You've probably seen it already on campus at 10:30, and then we have a gigantic birthday party on campus at 4 p.m., and we would love to have you join in any of those events. So now I will ask Bill Elliott and Dr. Wirtz and our Board of Regents to help cut the ribbon, and then after we cut the ribbon, we will unveil the plaque. So if you would come forward.
Can we do this?
I'm not quite sure how to.
So let's see how many.
Do you want the scissors?
Do we really cut it?
I think we cut it.
We only get one chance.
Hang on, let me check. Yeah, Bridget looks good. Here we go. On 3 now. Hold it right there. Don't cut it. Don't cut it. Bridget. Yep. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Okay. Right there, 1, 2, 3, hold it. Last one, 1, 2, 3.
Gary do that as well, or?
So you're an electrician, it's a deal.